Morning. Amanda Amble's here, ambling through the woods today, through the green mantle. It's very beautiful. There's dappled shades. It's another hot day here in Avalon, and we're just ambling along this beautiful pathway here. Can you see? Up ahead. And I literally feel like when I arrive in this zone, I guess it's like a green zone, isn't it? I literally feel like things, troubles, worldly cares almost evaporating, almost just disappearing, and almost feel like returning into my heart and returning into, rather than the man-made laws and the man-made world, back into the natural laws, the natural way of things, and just feeling a lot like, there is symbiosis in nature, isn't there? All of these trees, these insects, the life here, it all coexists, and it all sort of harmonizes as well with each other. The sunlight helps the trees to grow, the plants feed the insects and the life. And yes, nature really does know what it's doing. And it's in stark contrast to what is going on in the world. And I watched a YouTube video this morning, and it was a lady saying, well, she didn't understand what was going on politically, but she felt that children were becoming politicized in the world. Whereas when we were young, we were just sort of out there on these sort of clunky playgrounds, and there wasn't so much exposure to all of this stuff. And I've got to say, in the last few days, the last week, things are really ramping up, aren't they, with Israel? And I live with an Iranian myself, a friend, lodger, and yeah, it's incredible to see how he's coping, actually, because he has a brother over in Tehran, and I just saw some of the images this morning of the traffic jams, of the people trying to escape. And then I just come back to myself and think, oh my goodness, what a world. There's been this genocide going on. It almost feels like not only is the world not standing up to it, maybe we've lost our compassion in a sense. I mean, I'm not talking for everyone, because there's a lot of people who have plenty of compassion, but maybe we've become detached in some way, some form. Maybe it's a form of self-protection. I don't know. I myself have not been out protesting, out on these rallies, although in my heart I know that that would be the right thing to do. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm really appreciating my life here. It feels like the world out there is just crazy, like the lunatics have taken over the asylum, really, doesn't it? And how are you feeling about everything? I saw an excellent video by Teabreak with Tasha yesterday about institutionalized narcissism. And I think I'd even go one step further than that. I almost feel that like it's almost psychopathic behavior. And I feel like it draws upon our fears, and it manipulates us. And it's almost quite abusive. It's an abuse of power. And on this YouTube video this morning, somebody was talking about, is something that I do think about quite often, is how come all the baddies, the bad guys, are in power? And that begs the question, it's really the institutions, isn't it, that are corrupt, that are rotten. Maybe not the individuals themselves, but the ones that rise up to the top of the pile. Perhaps they're the ones that go along with the agenda And all, you know, what Tasha was saying is, it's like, you know, they have all the traits of narcissism. So yeah, I'm going to just continue here because I can. And yeah, so there seems to be this threat of things outside of ourselves, things we can't control, things we can't change. You know, the industrial war complex machine. And it's very difficult to unpick and unravel exactly what's going on. But basically, you know, we still have our humanity, and we can still see when civilians are being killed, say in Gaza, say, you know, what's happening in Iran now, and Israel as well, to Israel. Bit of a, yeah, it's very disempowering, and it can feel quite overwhelming. And so it's really important that we come back to the things that we love, go to the places we love, connect with ourselves, our true nature, whatever our true nature is, redefine our true nature, do that which nurtures us, be with those people who nurture us too. You know, and on the theme of nurturing, sometimes it's very important to withdraw from social situations, perhaps people who have not been really sort of serving you. What I mean by serving is nurturing the friendship and, you know, reciprocating perhaps. I've recently had to pull away from a number of friendships. Well, I wouldn't call them friendships really, because they felt a little bit like one-way traffic. So yeah, self-care is so important in these times, isn't it? Is it too hot to run, Roras? I think it is, isn't it? You gonna lie down as well? Gonna sniff and pants. I just had a very interesting experience. I was just approaching the table, and I could have sworn that I could see a butterfly sitting on the table. And as I got closer to it, I realised that it was a pine cone. And that just makes me realise that our perceptions are what makes our lives, really. What we perceive or what we think we're going to see, as opposed to what's actually in front of us. So I think I've said this before, you know, where our attention goes, that's where life flows to. Look at the way the light just flickers through this ancient oak tree as I'm walking. It's just wonderful, isn't it? Wow. Wow, look at that. Just sunshine flashing between the branches as I walk. Incredible. This dappled shade is definitely the place to be on a very, very hot day. Look at this, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's a real refuge from the sun at the moment. It's good to feel these stones under my feet. And then when I kind of think a little bit about the discomfort, or if they don't feel as soft as, you know, my springy sandals, I'm just remembering one time I walked on hot coals, and we got ourselves in the zone to do that, and they didn't singe our feet at all. And then on a second occasion, I walked on broken glass, and again, the glass just kind of crushed underneath the feet, which is quite unbelievable. I didn't think that was possible. But in the right frame of mind, it makes you realise that anything is possible. So it's all about our mindset, isn't it? How we perceive things, even down to something which should actually harm us and probably cut our feet, but it doesn't, because we're in the right mindset. So it's quite amazing. Yeah, the dogs are panting quite a lot. We are in the shade, but we're going very slow today. And here, this is where we are. It's a really lovely woodland. We could be a little fairy door in there, in the tree. What do you think? Is that a little fairy door or a gnome door? It certainly looks like a little doorway there. I'd love to be small enough to walk through it. Beautiful, isn't it? A mossy doorway into the fairy realms. Wanna go in the mud, Rora? You like exploring? Rora the explorer. There she goes. Oh, they're liking this cool mud on those hot days. So is Magic as well. Is it nice and cool, guys? Look at that. If only we had their curiosity. Oh, she's going straight in there, straight into the mud. Is that nice, Rose? Do you like the mud, guys? Oh, Magic's actually sitting down in it. Is that lovely and cool, Mr. Magic? Yeah. Mr. Magic enjoying the cool muddy bit here. He's decided to lie down here. I was talking a little bit earlier about how they call us if we question the authority wherever we are. They call us domestic terrorists. So we're an existential threat within the country, which I find incredible, really. So I think we're very much living in this world where there is a lot of threats, and that coupled with narcissistic institutions and sometimes psychotic behaviour, and it has an unstabilizing effect, doesn't it, on us, but we choose whether we take that on a personal level or not. And when I'm out here in nature, I feel like this is real life, and I do really love making these videos because I love reaching other people and reaching you guys and seeing what you think as well, because if it's going on for me, these thoughts and feelings, I'm sure that it's also reflected in many of the viewers here as well. So I'm really enjoying this journey of exploring myself and sharing that with others. So we're all... Hi, yeah, I've noticed that my heart feels much softer, having just spent about half an hour walking and communing in the woods today. And they do say that 2 hours out in nature is really beneficial. And that's not always possible in this day and age, I know that. But yeah, I do try and get out as much as possible to beaches or to woods. It's just so important for our hearts, our souls, and to sort of come back into our hearts, into that sort of softer heart space. Because I feel like sometimes the world can be quite brittle, quite harsh, quite full on and overwhelming, and especially if you're a sensitive like myself. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Today's video is a little bit all over the place, but that's just the way things roll sometimes, isn't it? Signing off from Amanda Ambles till the next amble.